Alright, welcome on in everyone to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Mid-Iowa 177 out of Iowa. Council was originally formed in 1970 as the merger of Southern Iowa Area and Tall Corn Area Councils. There were some questions more recently on some online collecting groups about the differentiation between the T1 as well as the S2A and B. And so we're going to take a look at those today, hopefully answer everyone's questions. Starting on the patch table with the T1 with its white border, dark blue background, white fleur-de-lis, and white name. It is a T1, so the background here is the twill blue, unstitched, just blue fabric. I think one of the primary questions that people were having was looking at the descriptions for the T1 and then the S2s. You're going to find white border, dark blue background, white fleur-de-lis, white name, and they're like, well, how do you differentiate them? And it can be easy to overlook the fact that one ends up being a twill patch, just blank fabric for the background, and the other are S patches or solidly embroidered. So if you see them adjacent, one next to one another, it will be a little more clear, the differentiation. So this is a T1. You can see it does have a gauze cloth back. After the T1, they then produced the S2. The S2 in older collecting guides was divided into 3 sub-variations, the S2A, B, and C. They have since consolidated the S2B and C, where one of the production runs on the S2B was like a little bit thinner on the MIC lettering in the center of the state. So now there's just S2A and S2B, and the differentiation is going to be direction of the state and fleur-de-lis. So this is the S2A, and the S2A has stitching that's going to be similar to the original T1, where the state is stitched horizontally, and inside of these fleur-de-lis, it is also stitched horizontally. Now both of these in the collecting guide are listed as white border, dark blue background, white fleur-de-lis, white name. They do actually go on to also say on the S2s, MIC on the state, but there's certainly an MIC on the original T1 as well. And most specifically for the S2A, we get a horizontal stitched state and horizontally stitched fleur-de-lis. Now, these are both listed as dark blue, but this being a fully embroidered patch S2A, we can see the color is quite a bit brighter than the original dark blue twill of the T1. The S2A here does have a plastic back. We get a slightly looser, older style production method stitch here on the blue background for the S2A that will contrast slightly from the S2Bs or later produced CSPs. I'm going to take off the T1 and move up this S2A so we can see it right there next to an S2B. S2B comes back with a little bit darker fabric than what we're seeing on this S2A, but the main differentiating factor is going to be the state is now stitched vertically, and inside of these fleur-de-lis it is stitched vertically. We also get a slightly bigger patch. You can see this is a more modern production style. We get tighter stitching here in the background fabric on this. Again, also S2B is a solidly embroidered patch, so usually pretty easy to decipher it from the twill that is the T1. Taking a look at the back here on the S2B. Again, the S2B was formally divided into 2 issues that both had vertical stitching for the state and the fleur-de-lis. One had I believe this would be what was originally an S2B, so the kind of normal sized MIC, and then one came later that they were calling for some time period an S2C that had a thinner MIC. We don't have that patch to be able to show you today. And in today's collecting guides, they've merged that together. There's just an S2. Some have a little bit thinner MIC and some don't, but they all have the vertical state stitching and the vertical fleur-de-lis. And there you have it. So there were some questions about Mid-Iowa that I saw in some groups online, and I said, you know what? Let's shoot the video so we can put them all together for everybody on screen. They can see them at one time. They can see the distinctions. It can be super easy in the collecting guide to either get so narrowly focused that you forget that maybe the first one was a twill and the next two are solidly sewn, or just looking at descriptions and they all look so similar, it's hard to pick out what the difference is. That's one of the things that we love the most about being able to provide this content on the channel, is we want to show everyone what those differences are, kind of bring some life to what's written on the page in the collecting guides with the actual images, and most specifically with them side by side so you can see them next to one another and hopefully help better decipher what issues you might be looking at or wanting to go get. With that, we'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode of First CSP. I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the channel, sharing, liking, subscribing, all of those things really does help us, and we really do appreciate all of you. If you've got more information on Mid-Iowa or any of the other issues that we've presented, maybe historical information about the council or about the CSP itself, feel free to always drop that in the comments below. We've got a great community that have provided just amazing information and history and detail that we as collectors may not know, and add value to these episodes as well. So we thank everybody that's been contributing in the comments as well. With that, I want to thank you all for stopping in and making us a part of your day, and we hope to see you on the episode tomorrow. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your day.